The cherry blossoms in Japan bloom for about a week, sometimes less, and when they fall, millions of people don't grieve. They celebrate. In the West, we have a different relationship with endings. We photograph the sunset to keep it. We freeze the moment, post the moment, pin the moment to a board so it never moves. We mistake loving something for holding on to it. 1,000 years ago, the Japanese figured out we had it backwards. They gave the feeling a name. Mono, no aware. The bittersweet awareness that something is beautiful precisely because it's already leaving. To understand where this idea came from, we have to go back to a city that no longer exists by that name. Heian, the capital of tranquility. Today we call it Kyoto, but more than 1,000 years ago, it was the heart of one of the most refined aristocratic cultures the world has ever seen. The Heian period in Japan ran from 794 to 1185. Inside the imperial palace at Heian, something extraordinary was happening. While the men of the court busied themselves writing in formal Chinese, the women were quietly inventing modern literature in their own language. Hiragana, the flowing brushstroke script that allowed them to write the way they actually thought. These court women lived in a world of paper screens, painted fans, and silk robes layered in 12 colors. They composed poems on scented paper and slipped them under sliding doors. They wept openly at the changing of the maples. They carried inkstones in lacquered boxes and wrote their thoughts down whenever the world stirred them. And the world stirred them constantly. One of those women was named Murasaki Shikibu. Around the year 1010, working as a lady-in-waiting to Empress Shoshi inside the imperial court, she finished a sprawling, psychologically intricate novel about a fictional prince named Genji. Many scholars consider it the first true novel in human history. It runs over 1,000 pages. It follows Prince Genji through love affairs, political schemes, the seasons of his own aging, and the slow loss of everyone he ever cared about. And buried inside the prose, repeated over 1,000 times, roughly once on every page, is a single Japanese word: aware. It doesn't translate cleanly. It's the soft sound a person makes when something deeply moves them, the exhale that comes before words can form. The Heian court treated this feeling as the highest form of human sensitivity. Around the same time, another lady-in-waiting named Sei Shonagon was filling her own diary, the Pillow Book, completed around 1002, with lists of things that stirred this same response, things that made the heart beat faster, things that disappear too quickly. These two women were rivals at court, serving competing empresses, and they could not have been more different in temperament. Murasaki was introspective, melancholic, attuned to the deep undertow of human longing. Sei Shonagon was witty, sharp, sometimes mean, with an eye for the small absurdities of palace life. But both of them, working a few rooms apart in the great wooden compound of the imperial palace, were circling the same feeling. Beauty is precious because it is brief. For 700 years, this sensibility lived inside Japanese poetry, painting, and storytelling without ever being properly defined. It was something everyone felt and no one explained. Then in the 18th century, a quiet country doctor in the town of Matsusaka decided to spend the rest of his life trying to name it. His name was Motoori Norinaga. Born in 1730, he was supposed to take over his family's cotton business. He was bad at it. So his mother sent him to Kyoto to study medicine instead. And somewhere between treating patients and reading old manuscripts by candlelight, Norinaga became obsessed with the tale of Genji. He spent 35 years writing a commentary on it. While running his medical practice in Matsusaka, he sat in his small upstairs study and tried to crack the central feeling that ran through the entire book. He read every line. He cross-referenced every poem. He filled volumes with footnotes. He worked by oil lamp late into the night, with the smell of inkstone and tatami filling the small room. And he finally gave it a name, 3 syllables: Mono no Aware. The literal translation is something like the pathos of things, but Norinaga insisted it was more than a feeling. It was a kind of knowledge. He wrote that to know mono, know aware, was to discern the essence of every single thing in the world and to be moved by it. The moon, the cherry blossoms, the face of someone you love who has grown older. For Norinaga, this was not soft sentiment, it was the highest form of human intelligence. A person who could not feel mono, no aware, he believed, had not yet learned how to truly see. If you're enjoying this video, hit subscribe. We make documentaries on Japanese aesthetics and philosophy every week, and the next one builds directly on this idea. Now, there's something important to understand about mono, no aware. It is not Western melancholy. Western melancholy resists impermanence. It produces longing, grief, the ache of wanting things back. Mono, no aware accepts impermanence as the natural state of everything and finds that this acceptance somehow makes the beauty deeper, not smaller. The roots of this run into Buddhism. The concept of mujo, the truth that all things are transient, has shaped Japanese thinking for 1,500 years. Mono, no aware, took that quiet philosophical fact and turned it into an aesthetic practice, a way of seeing. You can watch this practice play out every spring across the entire country. The Japanese Meteorological Agency tracks the cherry blossom front, the Sakura Zensen, with the same seriousness other countries reserve for hurricanes. Families gather under the trees in Tokyo's Ueno Park, in the gardens of old Kyoto temples, on the banks of the Meguro River. They eat, they drink, they watch the petals fall. The tradition is called hanami, and it has been happening for over 1,000 years. The blossoms are not more beautiful than apple flowers or plum blossoms. What makes them beloved is the fact that they fall within a week. Their beauty and their leaving are the same thing. You can find mono, no aware in Japanese cinema too. Yasujiro Ozu built his entire filmmaking career around this idea. In his masterpiece Tokyo Story, released in 1953, an elderly couple travels from their seaside village to visit their grown children in post-war Tokyo. Almost nothing happens. The children are too busy. The parents return home, then one of them dies. Ozu's camera barely moves. He cuts to long, still shots of empty hallways, of trains crossing rooftops, of a kettle on a stove. Critics call them pillow shots. They are pure mono, no aware. The film does not mourn the passing of time, it simply notices it. You can hear this same sensibility in the gentle, aching films of Makoto Shinkai, like 5 centimeters per second, where the entire emotional core is the slow drift between two people who once loved each other. You can feel it in Studio Ghibli films like Grave of the Fireflies and The Wind Rises, where joy and sorrow live in the same frame at the same moment. So what does any of this have to do with you, sitting wherever you are right now? In 1801, near the end of his life, Norinaga wrote out his will. He asked to be buried on top of Mount Yamamuro, looking down over the town of Matsusaka, where he had practiced medicine for 40 years. He gave precise instructions. The grave should be about 2 meters wide, a small mound at the center, and on top of the mound, a single cherry tree. A man who had spent 35 years explaining the beauty of impermanence asked to be buried under the most impermanent flower in the world. This is the lesson at the heart of mono, no aware. The thing that is leaving is the thing worth loving. The sunset is more beautiful because it ends. The friendship is more precious because one of you will move away. The cherry blossom is unforgettable because by next week it will be on the ground. The conversation with your aging father lands differently when you remember he will not always be on the other end of the phone. You don't need to fix that. You don't need to photograph it, post it, or pin it down. You just need to be there for it. The Japanese have a quiet practice of pause at transitions. The first cup of tea in the morning, the moment before guests leave, the last warm day of autumn. They notice these crossings the way other cultures notice anniversaries. Try it for a week. The next time the light shifts in your kitchen at the end of a long afternoon, stop moving for a moment. Don't reach for your phone. Don't try to keep it. Just watch it change. The next time someone you love laughs, really listen, because that exact laugh in that exact tone will not happen again. The next time you walk past a tree you've never noticed, look at it. It is older than you and will not be there forever. This is not sadness. This is the opposite of sadness. The Japanese discovered 1,000 years before any of us were born that paying close attention to what's leaving is the closest thing humans have to making it last. Leaving is the closest thing, and the next time you catch yourself reaching for your phone to keep something, try this instead. Pause, breathe, watch it pass. That feeling, the soft ache that comes when you finally let something be exactly as fleeting as it is, that's what the Japanese have been calling mano. No-aware for over 1,000 years. It is not the philosophy of loving what's gone. It is the philosophy of loving what's leaving while it's still here.